The only bone of my own that I've ever broken, to my knowledge, is my skull. It was December of 1996. Me and a couple of my buddies were all unattached, no girlfriends at the time, so New Year's Eve was coming up, and we decided, well, I had said, hey, let's go to Montreal. It's about a 450-mile drive, so, about 7 hours from Buffalo, where I was living at the time. And they're like, yeah, sure, because they had never been. So, and I always loved road tripping to Montreal. It's a fantastic city. If you've never been, go. So we get there, find my favorite hotel. I think it's on Rue Sherbrooke. It's been a while now. And I fractured my skull. But, we're out, we're hitting the nightclubs. And after a couple of nightclubs, we went to one to ring in midnight. It was a bar called the Purple Haze. It's on Rue Saint Denis. At least it was. And, and it was billed as a gothic and industrial New Year's Eve. So it's called the Purple Haze, and it's a gothic and industrial New Year's. You gotta go. So, I was having a good time, and, my buddies were just kind of like, meh, and I was just kind of like just floating around talking to people. And, I should back up a little bit. My beer of choice at the time was, when I lived in Buffalo, was Labatt Blue. Now, it's a Canadian brand. In New York, in the United States, the alcohol content is like here. But you order a Labatt Blue in Canada, and there's a little more alcohol in it. So, the whole night I'm drinking Labatt Blue, drinking at my normal speed, and, not taking into account the alcohol content is a little bit higher. So anyway, my buddies, after midnight, they decided that they wanted to go. They're like, hey, Tom, let's go back to the hotel. I'm like, all right, man, it's a couple blocks away. You just go there. They're like, no, you're coming with us. I'm like, no, bar's still open. I'm having a good time. And so I gave him like a little business card that I grabbed from the hotel. I was like, hey, and just give this to a taxi driver if you can't find your way back. But it's just like, go there, and you're home. So the next day, when I had not shown up back at the hotel, they assumed I'd hooked up with somebody. But what happened was I woke up on the 1st of January, 1997, in neurological intensive care in Montreal General Hospital. I remember the nurses speaking in French about how when I came in, I was, they're speaking French. I understand enough French. They're talking about how I was belligerent and combative when I came in. And so I just in English, I'm like waking up, I'm like belligerent and combative? That couldn't have been me. And so they come over to see how I was, and apparently I had fallen down a very long flight of stairs. I don't remember. I could have pissed somebody off. I don't know. But, Montreal's is an old city, full of old buildings. The Purple Haze bar I was on the second floor of a very old building with, very steep stairway that's, very short stairs. And I can absolutely see how I would have fell down, but I have no recollection. So, they told me I had fractured my skull, and as I was waking up, I was like, I gotta go to the bathroom, I gotta pee. And they're like, well, go. I'm like, no, take this thing out of me. I had a catheter in me. And they're like, no, just go. I'm like, no, take this thing out. That's a mistake. That hurts a lot. That's real pain. That hurt, and then I went to the bathroom, and then I crawled back in the bed, and they wheeled in another x-ray machine to take x-rays of my shoulder. They didn't want to move me around too much, I guess. They thought I had broken my shoulder, but fortunately it was just my skull. I had right around here, you can't see anything, but that's where the fracture was. It wasn't anything that was displaced where I needed surgery. You know, so like the fracture's here, and like kind of the brain injuries over here, because you know when you hit your head over here, you know your brain floating fluid sloshes over the other side and just like, you know, bangs in the other side of your skull. So that's kind of where like the dark spots were, and it's my go-to excuse for a lot of the things I do nowadays. Anyway, so got a hold of my buddies. They came to the hospital. You know, we all had a laugh. Ha ha. They wanted me to stay in intensive care at Montreal General for a couple days, and I just stayed the one more night. You know, I promised I would like go to Buffalo General. What the hell was it? The hospital, one of the hospitals in Buffalo, and get checked out when I got there. So, you know, fortunately, you know, I was the one that drove up to Montreal. Fortunately, one of my buddies was able to drive a stick. They drove home. I just laid in the back seat the whole way home, and had a bandage on this ear for about a week because I bled out of my ear for a week. And then for 3 months, I couldn't drink alcohol because I had to take an anti-seizure medication that you're not supposed to have with alcohol. I mean, I still went out, you know, to the bars. You know, I just had a soda water with a twist of lime. You know, it's, you know, when it's serious, it's pretty easy to stop drinking. But anyway, so yeah, fractured my skull. Fun stuff. I was moving stuff around in the basement, and I came across the X-ray, and that's what made me think of it. I still have the X-ray. So anyway, for some of you, that may explain a lot. Let's take a look at some records. Hey there, vinyl community. My name is Tom. You're watching my channel, High Rant District. And today I'm going to show something a little bit different. What I've been doing as I've started these vinyl community videos is showing records that I've accumulated mostly last year as part of building up a record collection essentially from scratch. You know, and a lot of that means I'm picking up stuff that and showing stuff that I already know. You know, you want to have the staples in your collection. You want to have the stuff you know as a kid, and you know, it's something where you can always like you can go and bam, pick anything, and you're gonna enjoy it and love it. But I do like listening to a lot of new stuff, whether it's, you know, new to the world or just new to me. I do like, you know, taking chances and looking at some new stuff. So today I'm going to show what I've been spinning lately, which happens to be some new stuff. First record I'm going to show is called Look Closer. It's the debut album by Sawn and Star. Sawn and Star. It's a mouthful, but it's not really. I haven't been drinking yet. But anyway, Sawn, short for Sandra. This is on Daptone Records. It's soul. It's this came out in May of this year. It's a new record, and it's really, really fantastic. You know, for me, like soul is something that's cheery, you know, and it kind of takes you back. For me, this, you know, I listen to this, and I'm in New York City, you know, during the summer and the heat, and you know, I'm feeling it. Here's what the back cover looks like. And there's Sandra, and there's Star. These ladies are really, really fantastic. If you're familiar at all with Sharon Jones and the Dap Kings, I'm pretty sure, well, Sawn and Star are the backup singers for Sharon Jones. And I believe on this album that they are playing in front of the Dap Kings. So the backing band is, yep, they're playing with the Dap Kings. The backing band is really, really good. Let's see, the stock, the cardboard stock on this from Daptone Records is nice and thick. It just came with a plain white inner that the record came in, and of course, you know, I put it in my, you know, poly sleeve. But here's a close-up of the label. If you like soul music at all, I highly recommend Look Closer by Sawn and Star. It's on Daptone Records. It's probably, I'm pretty sure I got it from Daptone Records directly. I'm sure it's on Amazon as well. And if it's not in your favorite record store, shame on them. Next up, this is going to be an odd one for me. It's Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys. I don't have anything by the Beach Boys, and this came out in I want either 1969 or 1970. I was never a Beach Boys fan. You know, I think I'm maybe like 4, 5, 6 years too young to have grown up on it as a little kid. You know, when like a band like this can really like sink into your consciousness and be part of your experience growing up. And I think I get the feeling that's why a lot of people like it. You know, otherwise it's it's just one of those sounds that you know. First of all, like they perpetrate themselves as surfers. They're not surfers. They never were. And it's like, you know, I get the feeling, and this kind of like makes me just like, you know, just like kind of shrivel up a little bit, where you know, the singers all sound like, you know, somebody's like grabbing them by the sack and just like, you know, yanking down, and the voice is like way up there. There are some very good songs on here, and I'll probably spin this now and then. This is a reissue from about 2008, I think, on 180 gram vinyl. It's on Capitol Records. It's from the Capitol Vault series. Here's a look at the back. I don't think there was anything really spectacular about the vinyl itself. It's got, oh yeah, I like the inner sleeve. The inner sleeve kind of reproduces, like, you know, old, probably the old original inner sleeve, where these sleeves used to advertise everything else in that label's catalog. Same on the back. It's nice, heavy duty. It's a very, I'm sure it's a very good version. You know, it's got the old rainbow style Capitol label. And this is a poly-lined inner sleeve that it came in. That's how you do a record, people. Put it in a poly-lined sleeve to begin with. The music to me sounded a little bit flat. And then after listening to it, I was like, oh, you know, hey, you know, it's, I don't know if you can see that, it's mono. So the record's in mono, which is, I'm sure, how it originally was. And I really have to pick up a head shell and a mono cartridge just for swapping out, because I've got a couple of things on mono, and I just wonder if I would hear if it would sound better to me in you know, with a proper mono cartridge. But anyway, the Beach Boys, Pet Sounds. I guess I kind of got inspired to pick this up when I saw the movie. I think it was called Love and Mercy. It's the Brian Wilson story. I had no idea that Brian Wilson had the problems that he had. So it was an interesting movie. Not an earth-shattering movie, but I'm glad I saw it. You know, for me, it was kind of like a good bit of music history. You know, always want to be learning. Next up, this is the debut album from a new artist. This is Leon Bridges. The title of the album is Coming Home. This came out in June of this year. It's the debut album by Leon Bridges. Very simple cover. I like it. It's, you know, I had heard a lot of good things about him. You know, I don't dig deep into reviews of new music. I want to hear it first. I don't want to really spoil my opinion. But I know he's kind of like a darling of the record critic community, I guess. But you know, I never want to spoil how I perceive an album. You know, I want to hear it before I read somebody else's review. And it's good. You know, it's soul. It's for me, soul is generally pretty cheery, and this is you know, it's good. It's probably a little bit more, you know, pulls back a little bit. You know, it's maybe got a little bit of R&B in there. It's good, and I've only listened to it once so far, and I probably need to pay attention closer to it, closer to the lyrics. I suspect that's where a lot of the genius, if there is genius here, where a lot of that is. The record itself, The sleeve is a nice heavy duty sleeve. It's on Columbia Records, and comes with an inner. It's got a nice picture there, and it's got the credits on the other side. And again, this is really the way you should package a record. Really good packaging. It's a thick inner sleeve, and then inside the inner sleeve is the record itself. There's a close-up look at the label. In a polyline sleeve itself. So the packaging on this is outstanding. Not that it should matter, but if it's a record you like, and I do like it, it's even better if the packaging is top notch. Next thing I picked up, and with that, Leon Bridges or like any other music that's new to me, where I'm buying a record that it's not out yet. A lot of times I'll pre-order stuff because I'll come across I follow a lot of articles in my newsreader, and that are music related, and they say, hey, there's a new album coming out. I don't really give a shit what they wrote about the album or the artist. Basically I'm looking for a link to a song in there, and usually I just click the song, and then from that one song I'm going to decide if I'm going to take a chance on the album or not, and that's what I did with Song and Star, with Leon Bridges. And you gotta take a chance. I don't want everything to be that I put down on the turntable. I don't want everything to be already known. You want some discovery in there. Anyway, blah blah blah. Next record up, the debut album by the Vaccines. It's called nothing on the corner. What Did You Expect? From the Vaccines. Just look at the label. This came out in 2011. I think they've got 2 other records out. Here's the actual back of the jacket. It's a UK release, so like most UK releases, it's kind of a flimsy cardboard package. It's a funny thing about UK or Australia releases. The packaging, the outer sleeve seems so flimsy, but the recording itself, the thing that really matters the most, to me, it generally sounds better than what you're going to get in the States. I don't know if that's a location thing. But anyway, it's kind of it's got this little cutout in the middle so that when you pull out the inner sleeve, that's coming out too. It's kind of cool. And it just has, photo on the back with some credits. The Vaccines, how do you describe it? It's kind of it's an alternative band. Kind of I don't know, normal, what's normal? I think they're out of London. If you think about the Hives or the Strokes, it's kind of in that vein. I'll be spinning more of it. I enjoyed it. Wasn't brilliant, but it was good, and I want to hear some more from them. And I know I'm pretty sure there's 2 other albums that I may hunt down and give those a spin. Next up, it's a band caught wind of. This is a band that's started in the mid or late 70s, and they're kind of an out there kind of band, alternative, not alternative, art rock, art punk, experimental punk, a band called Half Japanese. And this is the album called Overjoyed. This came out last year. It's on Joyful Noise Recordings. Joyful Noise is the record label. Here's a look at the back. I think I got an email from Joyful Noise a few months ago. There was some sort of a sale that they were having, maybe 25% off or something. And I just kind of looked through, and I saw a link to one of the songs, checked it out, liked it, so I grabbed it. And I got turned on to this. Who was is his name Noah? I forget his name. I'm so bad with names. The guy that does the vinyl. What was it called? The vinyl album. The Vinyl Show. And really into punk, hardcore, thrash. I don't know about thrash, but the guy's an encyclopedia of punk. Really, really informative. Oddly enough, I think he's the one that pushed Dave from the Vinyl Vault over the edge. They were having some battle last I heard. I don't know what's going on with that. Anyway, so for like art punk or art rock or whatever you want to call it, I thought this would be, you know, a tough listen, but it's not. It's really lively rock. It's very accessible. I thought it would be more inaccessible and something that I needed to grow on me, but right away it grabbed me. It was really, really fantastic. If you want to take a chance on something, you like rock, uh, it's good. It's really, really good. Uh, the inner has nothing, you know, decent outer sleeve, poly-lined inner sleeve. Gotta like that. And this is on, it's like a bone white with a blue splatter. You know, decent looking. I don't really care about the color so much, but that was what was on sale, and it sounds great. I'm really glad I took a chance on that, and it was fairly inexpensive. I tend to subscribe to you know, a lot of mailing lists for record labels. If I can, if the price is not too far out of line, I like to buy directly from a label, or, you know, directly from an artist. You know, if it's on Bandcamp, I try to like kind of cut out the middleman. And I love Amazon. Don't get me wrong. But if I can get like the music, the money right to the artist or right to the label that's putting out that artist, you know, I feel like in my head, I think they get a bigger cut of it. So that's kind of the direction I try to go. You know, I know that most bands, you know, are just doing this for love. Last thing I'm going to show right now is this came out in July. It doesn't show any, it doesn't say the name on the cover, but this is Negative Scanner. The band name is Negative Scanner, and it's the self-titled debut by them. It came out last month. It's here's the back. It's on Trouble in Mind Records. I got it directly through them. It's this is their first LP, although I think they've been around for a few years and maybe had a couple of like a 7-inch or an EP out. But this is their first LP. They're Chicago 4-piece. This lady, I believe she's got some, this is just like Photoshop or some blackout or something. But she's the lead singer. I'm pretty sure that's the lead singer. And they describe like on the Joyful Noise, sorry, the Trouble in Mind website, they describe it as post-punk. And here's a look at the label. The first side A, is really kind of really straight punk to me. You know, it's not, it's punk. But on side B, I can see where post-punk kind of sound comes in. I like it a lot. You know, here's the band's, again, that's probably their logo. This is the inner sleeve, and on the other side, it's got credits and lyrics. I love when the inner sleeve or insert or whatever, you know, some part of the record has lyrics on it. Really fantastic. Anyway, I like this album a lot. If you like post-punk, it's not really, I guess it's not, it floats in there, and I hate labels to begin with, but I'm trying to describe something to you that I don't want to necessarily play right now, so the video doesn't get blocked or whatever YouTube does. But I'm going to put like a link to a song for each of these 6 albums I showed in the description down below, so you can, or up above, I don't know where it is on your device of choice. But this is the stuff I've been listening to for the last 2 days. I'm really happy with a lot of this stuff. I've got a lot of stuff that I haven't shown that I've kind of been showing a lot. You know, like here's me building my vinyl collection for the last year and a half. But and I've only been showing since, you know, videos since January of this year. But I think I'll start showing more of what's spinning lately and what my recent pickups are, because it kind of, you know, I think everything I tend to show is kind of in the past is classic. You all know it, and maybe some of this is new. Maybe this will, you know, something on here. Like if you take a look at one of the videos I linked to, maybe it's something you like. Maybe hopefully I introduce somebody to something new, because that's what I get out of the vinyl community. I get such an education and come across so much more new music to take a listen to that I otherwise would probably never come across. So anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for everybody for all you contribute, and Have a great day. Bye.